Masih dalam sesi segmen Menguak Misteri Alam Semesta. Dan tema kita pada malam hari ini adalah tentang alam Peta dan alam Asura. Seperti yang kita telah ketahui bersama bahwa alam Peta dan alam Asura merupakan bagian dari 3 pulusan. Oleh karena itu, penting untuk kita semua paling tidak mengetahui seluk-beluk dari alam Peta dan juga alam Asura. Nanti teman saya, Pak Kadek, akan memperkenalkan narasumber kita, tamu kita pada malam hari ini. Silakan Pak Kadek.
Ya baik, terima kasih Pak Ari. Selamat malam, bagaimana kabarnya Pak?
Selamat malam Pak Kadek, kabarnya baik.
Ya baiklah sahabat Kepo, jadi pada malam hari ini kembali kita akan bersama di sini membahas mengenai alam Peta dan Asura, dan tentunya nanti tamu kita ini adalah spesial pada kali ini. Beliau adalah seorang biku dari Myanmar ya, yang bernama Ashin Visuddha, dan beliau tentunya adalah seorang biku yang terpelajar, di mana beliau sudah menempuh banyak pendidikan, baik dalam pendidikan monastik maupun secara pendidikan umum, di mana beliau sudah menyelesaikan yang disebut sebagai Dhammacarya atau pendidikan monastik di Myanmar, dan beliau untuk pendidikan umumnya juga sudah sampai pada tahapan S3. Jadi beliau juga sudah menyandang gelar doktoral ya, yang didapatkan dari universitas di Thailand. Dan pada kesempatan kali ini podcast kita memang spesial karena akan dibawakan dalam bahasa Inggris sepenuhnya. Namun jangan khawatir untuk para audiens semua, karena kita menyediakan subtitle dalam bahasa Indonesia, sehingga nanti Anda semua masih bisa menikmati podcast ini dalam 2 bahasa sekaligus. Jadi mendengar dalam bahasa Inggris dan nantinya akan ada subtitle dalam bahasa Indonesia. Ya baiklah, mari kita bersama-sama sambut tamu kita pada malam hari ini, yaitu Ashin Visuddha. Good evening, Wandami Bante.
Good evening, Suki Hodu. Selamat malam.
Selamat malam, Bante. You are already a little bit familiar with Indonesian language, Bante.
Yes, of course. I've been there many times.
Oh, really, Bante? How many times have you been to Indonesia, Bante?
About maybe 10 times. Around about 10 times.
10 times?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
When
was the last time, Bante? When was the last time you visit to Indonesia, Bante?
2019.
2019. So it's like
before pandemic outbreak.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Actually, I had invitation to come Indonesia every year, but because of pandemic, I keep China here only.
Yes, Bante. But I think from pandemic also now we know about the digital world, Bante. So with the internet connection, so even though now you are in Myanmar, we are in Indonesia, but we still can do good things also, Bante.
That's a good point from we point.
Yes, Bante.
Good from that.
Bante, basically, what are you doing at this time, Bante? What is your daily activities during this time? Your daily activities during this time?
Usually, I give a lecture, online lecture for Myanmar students. Usually now 8 to 9:30.
8 to 9:30 a.m. Bante.
No, p.m.
Oh, p.m. Oh, so tonight do you have lecture?
3 days a week.
Only 3 days a week. Okay.
At daytime, I have every day class.
So currently, how many monks and novices in your monastery, Bante?
Currently now, 16 novices, 30 monks.
Oh, 30 monks. Wow.
Yeah, altogether 29.
Yeah, hearing there are 30 monks in one monastery, for us Indonesian is very a big thing, Bante.
Yeah, it's very small.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
in my areas, because like a village, as for village, the monastery is a little bit big because of many monks. Most of the villages don't have such a monk among many monks.
Okay, Pak Ari, maybe how about our main topic for today's
Yes.
discussion?
Yes, Pak Kadek. Mr. Kadek, we are going to discuss about our main topic, that is about
Mm.
the Peta realm and the Asura realm. Bante, what do you think about
Yeah.
the word of Peta and Asura? Could you please, give us detail, like explanation how to differentiate between these two realm of Peta and the realm of Asura?
Yeah. Pali? Okay. If I had to explain the difference between Peta and Asura, as first I need to go to some Pali definition. That's for the knowledge and Pali commentary and sub-commentary define the word Peta like Sukha Samosaya Do, Agata, entity Peta. It means Sukha Samosaya Do, the happiness. Agata indeed very far away. So it means Peta is a core because it is far away from happiness. That's the meaning of Peta. And Asura means not Sura, not Devanti, Asura. Asura na Kayo. Asura Kayo. This means not Sura, not Devanti. They cannot bright. They cannot enjoy happiness fully. That is called Asura. So you may know there are two kinds of Asura. Deva Asura and Peta Asura. Here today we are going to discuss about Peta Asura. So Peta Asura also, they cannot enjoy happiness fully. They may enjoy happiness, semi-happiness, semi-suffering. That is Asura. That is technically I explain. But in general, we say easily that Peta and Asuras are not so different. I mean Peta Asura. No? Peta and Peta Asura are not so different. We can say Peta is like a small hungry ghost. And Asura is a big hungry ghost or big happy ghost. We can differentiate only like this.
Bante, you said small and big. Is it in terms of their body size or any other term, Bante?
Usually we can say that they are body size. For the suffering, also depend on their Vakama, their suffering may be bigger than Asura too. So we cannot say. So their body size usually different, Asura and Peta. So all in all, my conclusion for your question, what is the difference between Peta and Asura, right? Even though that said, four kinds of awful state, actual meaning, if we examine deeply, not so different, just as I said, small and bigger. The different. The suffering is the same. Depend on their Vakama, they had to suffer, or more or less, depend on their body.
Okay, Bante, you mentioned maybe you can give a little bit more knowledge about before you mentioned two kinds of Asura, right? There is Dewa Asura and Peta Asura, so that we may have a knowledge of the differentiation of these two kind of Asura, Bante.
Two kinds of Asura. Okay, we can go to Asura parts. Deva Asura is like lineage of Sadhu Maharajika Deva, the lowest rank or lower rank among the six Deva ranks. And Sadhu Maharajika Devas, so many kinds of Deva, like Yaka also, demon also, include in the Sadhu Maharajika lineage. Vimana, which you may know, no? Vimana. Vimana is like a semi enjoyment and semi punishment. They are also included in the lineage of Sadhu Maharajika. So they may be born with the perception of the Tihetuka Patisandhi. And some Asura, Deva Asura, may be born with the Tihetuka Patisandhika Seta. You may know, no? Tihetuka Patisandhika Seta means the past consciousness with accompanied by the wisdom. So they may have the chance to listen to Tema and they may attain the Magapala, Nibbana, even their Asura lineage. That is it, Deva Asura. And Peta Asura. Peta Asura also. Peta Asura is a very, how to say, just suffering in the opal state, and then they cannot take possession accompanied by the wisdom, so they cannot attain Magapala jnana in that light. So that is a difference between the Deva Asura and Peta Asura, in my opinion.
Bante, I have questions about, regarding to this Asura. Where do these Asura beings, mostly dwells, Bante?
They are abodes.
Yeah, they're abodes, Bante.
They are place. Where do they stay?
Right.
That is a good question. And Paul, what do you mean, Asura? Deva Asura or Peta Asura? Both or?
I think both, Bante.
I think both.
Yeah.
You can explain both
So,
first, Bante.
maybe later on if we meet, we can know this is Deva Asura or Peta Asura, Bante.
Okay. The Deva Asura also maybe around the human abode, Deva Asura around the human abode, because they are included in the Sadhu Maharajika lineage. Sadhu Maharajika lineage is the lowest abode among the six Deva rank. And I forgot there's one important story you may know, is Asura and the king of the Deva, Saka, they fight each other. Originally, Tawa Densa is their abode. They are playing because they enjoy alcohol a lot. They enjoy the Sura, Pali Sura, and alcohol intoxicant, like say beer or no? One day, Magas and his fellow Tadi friends was born in the Tawadisa the Asura. This Asura is a Vipasati Asura. They are like the horse. So they are guests with a very big party. They make a party for the newcomer. The kings, Magas and his fellow, they don't drink so much Asura. And they let down the horse drink so much. The horse, Sura, they drink and they fall asleep. They lost consciousness. Then the Magas and his fellow put them down to the foot of Mount Meru. To the foot of Mount Meru. That's why, because of their Baskama, there's a beer one above. Asuraram. Deva Asuraram. When they got the conscious, when they waked, they lost their abode. Wait, abode. they're trying to compete, trying to fight back to take back their realm, but they cannot. So they had to come back to their realm, Asura Bhumi. So they say, okay, we should not drink alcohol. So no Sura, no Sura, no more Sura, no more Sura. That's why
Become Asura, right?
Asura. That is it. Deva Asura's abode. Another abode also around the human world. They have the mansion. They have the Bimana. They have the Bimana. They have their building, their palace. Like you may know, Alawaka demon. Alawaka demons. His palace is in the banyan tree, in the banyan tree, we cannot see their abode. So we can say they stay around the human world, Vipasati Asura, like just now I said, is they stay at the foot of Mount Meru. That is the Deva Asura. Peta Asura is, because of Peta Asura, their body is very big. That said, they are very far away from the human world. They stay the human world, but very far away from human society. Like they stay at the valley or the mountain, at the top of the mountain, the other shore or the sea, and so on. That's a Peta Asura. There's one important, a particular place for the Asura, Peta Asura is, we can say Lokantrika Nidya. Lokantrika Nidya, you may know, no? Our universe, many universe, we have many universe. So that's that the universe is like the ball. Many universes, they touch each other. But there is a space, one space. We can saw the interface of the wall, Lokantrika. Interface of the wall or interspace. Wall interspace. They had to hang in the wall of the universe. They had no food and no light. They just suffering. They're hungry. They move in by hanging the universe. When they meet each other, they is their food. They're trying to eat each other. They lost the hunger and fall down. At the down below, there is a very cool water. So as soon as they go down, as soon as they fall down, their bodies disappear. Totally disappear, just a try, totally ruined, totally fallen. But because of their past karma, they had to reborn again, they had to hang again. That is it, Peta Asura. Only that particular place I found in the text, the Asura Ram, particular Asura Ram. But only the Asura Ram is only not for all the Peta Asura. Not for all the Peta Asura. Peta Asura may be the same level with the human abode. So their place is the same level with the human world, we can see. That is about Peta Asura. So now you know, you got the answer for the Peta Asura, Peta Asura.
Yeah. Bante, I'm still curious about the Asura, Bante, Asura rule, Asura Bhavana, because I read before, there is Asura called Paharada. He lives in the ocean.
He lives in ocean.
The ocean, the great oceans. What do you think about that, Bante?
That is like Vimana. Vimana Deva. That's one also, just now I said, the same with Deva Asura, again, Deva Asura. They may stay in the ocean, far away from. Tima war.
Okay,
Dan
so
Mr. Kadek,
there is what I heard is there is like a differentiation in like Peta Asura and Dewa Asura. Like when they Peta Asura mostly because it is also included in the mystery realm, and so they also suffer in their own realm like that, Monday, right?
Yeah, they suffer in their own realm. Santa said their body is their own realm.
So Bante, what kind of like when we say they are going after foods like that, what actually are their foods, Bante? What kind of foods that they eat, Bante? For Dewa Asura or for Peta Asura, like also you mentioned in the story, they also can drink like intoxicants like that. Is it in the sense of only perception, or is there any divine intoxicants or like that when they?
Yeah, for the Deva Asura, because they become because of their past karma, they had to enjoy some happiness. Okay, I forgot to say one thing: the difference between the Peta Asura and Deva Asura. Okay, let's say why they become Deva Asura and why they become Peta Asura. And this case, someone they do meritorious deeds, good deeds, but at the same time they commit demeritorious deeds, unwholesome deeds. For example, someone break 5 precepts, the second or the 5 precepts adinadana. They do business righteously or lawfully or unlawfully. They don't care. But after they earn money successfully, they do charity. Based on unmarried, based on unwholesome deed, they do the wholesome deed. In such a case, these karma, the result, if the kusala karma lead that karma, if kusala karma is the leader of the karma, he becomes Deva Asura. If akusala karma is the leader of that particular karma, a group of karma, he becomes a Peta Asura. So they are liable to semi enjoyment and semi punishment. So for them, they had to put, they had to enjoy the pressure and the heaven that they were Asura. The heaven. At the time, they had to suffer no food for them. I say, Deva Asura. But Peta Asura, when they become Peta, so they cannot get much food. They can just suffer. Okay, that is it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Ari, please.
Yes, Bante, talking about Peta, Bante, there is no trading, there is no business, there is no farming also in the Peta realm. So how do these Peta or hungry ghosts undergo the suffering? What kind of suffering do they have in their realm?
Many kinds of suffering of them depend on their past karma. For Peta, no?
Yes, for Peta.
Peta, their food is like, we had to differentiate first the kinds of Peta before we go to about the food of the Peta. As you may know, we had the inbreed 4 types of Peta, right? 4 types of Peta. Para Tatupa Sivita Peta, and Kobi Padika Peta, and Nesama Tanika Peta, Kala Kensika Peta. Para Tatupa Zivita Peta, me, he had to rely on other, or he had to rely on the gift of other. You may know their past relatives do marriage and share marriage, that they can enjoy, they can have the food, they can have some happiness. Otherwise, they had to look for themselves the food. They had to look for themselves the food. Because Paratatupa Zivita Peta is they are around us, they stay around us, near us. So their food is like a very dirty, like how to say, mucus or spandam, food remainder. They had to look for a very dirty place. Sometimes they had to eat the pieces or they had to eat shit. And they have food like this, unless they get their married. So that's a Pradatupa Zivita Peta. For Kopi Adika Petas, they had no food at all. For the whole life, they had to suffer. For the whole life, they had to suffer. So we can say among the 4 types of Peta, only that Pradatupa Zivita Peta has a little food. Other Petas just suffering. Because of their past karma.
So mostly dirty places is their place to find for food, Bande.
Yeah.
So does it mean when we keep our house clean, for example, so there will be no Peta can come to our house, Bande?
That's a good point. That's a good point. Actually, in the text, you may know, Tira Kota Sota. Tira Kota Sota.
Right.
The Peta cannot enter our house, our house, because of the guard of our house, guard deity of our house, or because of their Pasakama, they cannot enter. They just waiting behind the wall to appreciate the sharing merit. And this means they cannot enter, rarely enter to our house. So they had to wait behind the wall, they had to live in the street and dirty place, like a Samokane and so on.
Bante, so it means that there is no specific dwelling places for these hungry ghosts, Bante.
Yeah, of course.
There is no specific.
No special code, no special place. Just wandering on the street or very dirty place, or like a homeless ghost.
Maybe they're also living in cemetery, Bante.
Yeah, cemetery, Chanekro, Pung. There's cemetery is maybe their favorite place.
Yeah, because in Indonesia, Bante, people are afraid of ghosts. What do you think, Bante? Are these Petas, scary, or their appearance is scary, or they just look like? What do they look like, Bante?
Their appearance.
Yeah, is it scary?
Scary. Their appearance. Their paskama. If we say another type of Peta, we had the 21 types of Peta. 21 types of Peta. 4 types of Peta mentioned in the Peta Vatu, no? And 21 types of Peta is mentioned Vinaya Pitaka and Sayutta Nikaya. Among those 21 types of Peta, one Peta is that, I forget his name. That Peta doesn't have a head. His eye is in the chest, and his mouth is belly. So he had no head. His appearance is very scary. As many kinds of Peta, if we 21 types of Peta, we can say. Among the 21 types of Peta, even one type of Peta, maybe their appearance differ, maybe varied, their appearance different. So originally, their appearance is ugly. Sometimes they want to show themselves to get the help from the human. They may manifest themselves in front of the human. Because of their original appearance, the human or the people think that Peta or that ghost threaten him. Actually, not threatening, just their pitiful appearance, like seem to threaten to them. So they run away. So because of their paskama, their appearance is ugly, so they cannot ask the help from the human. As soon as the human see them, the human run away. So no time to ask the help. So if you encounter or if you undergo such a ghost, don't run away. Just say, what can I help you? How may I help you? Just say. Okay.
So a little bit interesting, Bante. So like we in Indonesia, we have different kind of maybe like the how we say visualization of ghost. Maybe when we say so, Myanmar also maybe they have their own visualization of ghost. Some of them may be the same, like what we found in the text, like there is no head, only the internal organs, like that. When they, I think in Indonesia also one kind of ghosts also appear like that. But many ghosts, mostly it's influenced maybe by the culture or what, I don't know, because Indonesia we have our own ghosts, maybe Myanmar have their own ghosts, maybe Japan also have their own ghosts. So is it also possible like that, Bande, the appearance of the beings in Peta realm, Bande? Like it suits to the culture of one country, maybe their appearance may be the same as what has been believed in that place, Bande.
This is difficult to say, right or wrong, because we cannot see with our naked eye the actual Peta. Just visualization, just imagination. Imagination, visualization also based on the truth in somehow, based on the touch in the past they may have seen. So to say is not right. It may be the appearance without how to say the fact. We cannot visualize, we cannot image in some case. Anyhow, we had some image in the past, long time ago. So we just visualize image currently. That's why we cannot say exactly.
But for sure, they have so many shape, haven't they? So many forms, so many shape, so many kinds of Peta, right?
Yeah, so many shape, so many Peta. If you have time, maybe I can just read some book. Okay, just I will say. Attika Sinkalika Peta. That's Peta. It's just only bone, no flesh in his body. So he flying in the sky. In the Buddha lifetime, you can read some text, Mahamaugalana soul, or sometimes it's a Lakana soul. So the crow or the hawk or bark manifest like a beating, attacking him. That's Peta is like a just bone, no more flesh. That's bone. That's Peta is called Ati Sinkalika Peta. Ati Sinkalika Peta. Second Peta is a Mansa Besika Peta. Mansa Besika Peta. This Peta has no bone, only flesh, only meat. So he also had to suffer. No food for him. The hawk grow and attack him. So like next next week, Purisa Peta. Next week, Purisa Peta means he has no skin, no cover. So he had to suffer whatever he touched. His press is getting suffering. Some Peta is like a Loma Peta. Loma Peta is his hair, body hair or her hair or brown hair, any hair is like a needle, no?
Needle.
Like a needle. So he had to suffer the whole life. Because the needles attack his head. Sometimes many like Commander Peta is a little bit funny. Just let's say Commander Peta is his his organ, his main organ, his balls very big. His balls very big. Yeah. When he sit down, he had to sit on his ball. When he go, when he walk, he had to carry his ball in his shoulder. Very suffering. That's because his best gamma, because at the best he was a jack. On sitting the jazz chair, he desired violently. So he had to suffer on sitting with the ball for the whole life of Peta. Some Peta is like a Guta, Nimoga. Guta, Peta, Nimoga means he had to stay for the whole life in the big or shaped pieces, human pieces, shaped excrement.
Yes.
He had to, swim at the ocean of excrement for the whole life. So many types of Peta you can find in the death. Okay.
Okay, Bente. So anyway, we can see that the life in the Peta and Asura realm is a misery. So for sure, it is due to unwholesome deeds, right, Bente? So I want to know like further. For example, I heard one story about the water pot lady. Bente. I think it's a popular story in Myanmar. When there was a lady who every day offer water from the pot in front of her house for whoever passed her house, whoever is thirsty like that, so they can drink the water that she offered. And she does it every day, and then she always change the water into the new water every morning like that. But even though that habitual good deeds she was performing throughout her life, the story said that when she passed away, she was reborn in the Peta realm, right? And even at the event of the sharing merits ceremony, where there is a monks also like reciting parita like that, she even her Peta friends, maybe I just Peta friends, didn't allow her to listen to the Dhamma talk, Bande. So that she missed that sharing merit ceremony, Bande. Can you tell about that story, Bande?
Yeah. I heard also that story. That story teller is a very great, famous monk. The theology will not tell, and true story. The very learned, very famous, very virtuous fellow. He teach Dhamma. He put the story too. As you said, the lady is doing marriage every day. We call it Ye Jansen the Kamaji, Ye Jansen, Ye Jantakamaji, Ye Jantakamaji. The storyteller is Seattle, Maganayon Seattle. In his Tema talk, he mentioned about the story. Because at the past time, when their relatives say are married, she lost because her fellow, her new friend, took her to the mountain to see the waterfall, to see waterfall. So she lost the chance. Next time, maybe after 7 days or 1 month, I'm not sure. Next second time, she got the chance to appreciate or to enjoy this marriage. After she said that at the time, Sarah also accept their donation. They join their marriage making ceremony and they share marriage. And after combat, Sarah come back from the house. And at the behind, the lady said, Sarah. Oh, Sarah was surprised. That's why it's very similar, my ladies, my Nikamaji. Who is me? Where are you? Sarah, I'm become Peta. I become Peta. Oh, don't you get it? Don't you get the merit? The past time, they share. At the time, I was taken by my friends to the Yidawon down, the mountain where waterfall is there. So I lost the chance. Now only this day, I knew I got a chance to say sadhu, to appreciate the merit. So now I got the benefits from that merit. I just come in to say you goodbye. By myself, he disappeared. The voice disappeared. That's a true story in Myanmar.
So how can Bante, like daily she does many good deeds, but upon her passing away, she was reborn in Peta realm, Bante. So what is the main factor in it?
That's a very good question. Hard to answer too. There is one Pali passage and Pali wa you just note. Patipata Saito. Patipata Saito means bond and led to someone or something. When they are going to die, when they are close to die, if they attack maybe their grandson or their daughter and son, grandson, granddaughter, or something they want to say that they cannot say, then they pass away. If they become Peta. It's very important at the moment of dying. At the moment of dying. If the person dying had the Patipata Sita means bound in something, bound and latched in something, or attached to something. Even though the whole life is doing, he has done the many good deeds. At the moment of dying, if he had such a Patipata Sita, he become Peta. He become Peta. In this case, we can explain according to Pitama. Pitama, there are 4 types of karma, right? Data Dhamma Viraniya karma, Upabisa Viraniya karma, Aprapriya Viraniya karma, Ahosi karma. Oh, that's one. Sanaka Upataka, Data Dhamma Viraniya, Aprapriya Viraniya, Upabisa Viraniya, Ahosi karma. Data Dhamma Viraniya karma means this karma can produce the result in this life, in this very life. Aparapriya Viraniya karma can produce the life after next life to the whole samsara. Upapija Viraniya karma is the second life is produced. That's a 4 types of karma. Another karma, Adana karma, Adanakan, Asanakan, Upapitakan, Upakatakan. Asana karma is the karma which perform or which accumulate at the moment of dying. Asana karma is performed the whole life like a habitual action. Adanakan, asanakan. Only these two kinds of karma, if we know, we can expect that. Even though we perform merit the whole life like asana karma, eventual karma. But at the moment of dying, if he remember something in the past he had done, good or bad, or for example, bad, thinking becomes the action, becomes the karma. It produces is the result for next life. That's asana karma. In the test, they get the simile that, for example, the compound, the Kadek or the ocean, the Kadek or the cow. There's many cows, many ocean. You and strong cow and strong ocean inside the compound. Inside the cage, inside the cage. The one old cow or one old ocean is staying near the door. Near the door. As soon as the door opens, that the weak or the old cow or ocean can go out because he is very close to the door. Even the other cow or other oceans, they are strong, they cannot go out fast because the old or the weak ocean or the weak cow is very close to the door. In the same way, even though we are doing meritorious deeds for the whole life, at the moment of the dying, if we remember or if we had improper attention and doing bad karma mentally, or remember that the past bad karma, that bad karma becomes asana karma and produce its result. So he becomes the next life at the woeful state, like a Peta. So maybe that karma also has such a kind of asana karma, or like a patipada seta. That's why it becomes Peta. Okay.
Yes, Bante, earlier we already heard the sufferings of beings in the better world, Bante. But what mostly, Bante, the meritorious bad deeds or bad karma, or unwholesome deeds that can cause beings to be reborn into better world?
What bad karma?
Yeah, bad karma or unwholesome deeds that can cause people to be born again into a better world.
In the test, we can say Kaya Tosridina Damanagata, Wasito Sridina, Samanagata, Manoto Sridina, Samanagata. It's me, he had commit many evil deeds by bodily action and verbal action and mental action. So far as I observed, I'm aware that heavy power of the bad karma can give result to be born in the head first. That bad karma is a strong bad akusala karma, strong evil action, strong unwholesome deed can produce this result in the head, or to be born in the head. So that bad karma is after reducing to be born in the head, become the lesser power. We can say lesser power. So like a remainder bad karma, akusala karma, that or weak akusala karma or lesser akusala karma or remainder akusala karma can cause that particular being to be born in the Peta. So akusala karma, first priority is head, and after that Peta war or Asura war or Trisana war. You can read in the story, many stories mention that the person commit evil deed many times. He had to be born in the hair for long time. After coming out from the hair, he had to be born as a beta or as a animal and so on. So lesser agusla karma produce or lesser agusla karma cause being to be beta. And so
So Bante, according to the Tirukuda Sutta, as far as I have read it, that this Peta or the hungry ghosts also can be, we can help them. We can help them to be free from that world, from the Peta realm. Bante. Can you tell us the story how this can be, can be related?
Tirukuda is like a story related to Premisara, no? Related on the Premisara. King Premisara. So they are relatives in the past, maybe Buddha Laitai, one family doing meritorious deeds happily. The other family relatives, they cannot appreciate that good merit. They just start annoying, harming, that's good merit. And sometimes that budget family, they offer Buddha and Sangha with the good food. The other family, they not only disturb, but also they see, enjoy the food, good food too. So as a result of this karma, they had to step out in the hair for a long time. After coming up from the hair, they become beta. Fortunately, at the light time or the Vipassi Buddha, or Vipassi Buddha or Kasapa Buddha, I'm not sure. Okay, let it. They got the chance to enjoy, to appreciate the other relatives sharing marriage. So after they appreciate, after saying sadhu, they pre-prone the beta war. Another beta on seeing such a one. Oh, we should also have such a related. We have also had such a relative who share their merit. We can be pre-prone this war. So they wish and they ask the Kasapa Buddha or Vipassi Buddha. So how we can get a sharing merit? Then the Buddha replied, in my lifetime, you cannot pre-prune the beta or because of your karma is still heavy. You cannot pre-prune that. Maybe next Buddha in the lifetime or Korama Buddha, you will get the chance to appreciate your latest merits. So they just waiting. At the time of Buddha, our Lord Buddha, Korama Buddha, Bemisara, after offering the Bemisara monastery, what is it? Wiluvana monastery. After offering Wiluvana monastery, Bemisara forgot to share heaven merit. So at the night time, the beta, many betas are waiting to say sadhu, to appreciate. But the Bemisara doesn't share. So they got disappointed. At the night time, they like a protesting, do ye. The Bemisara hear the voice of Beta. So what happened? He just afraid. Just this morning, I do merit at night time. I hear the very terrible voice. He said, no, reasonable. Why? So the morning, he went to Buddha as at the night time. I can hear from other world what happened. Then the Buddha retold the story that you are related in the waiting, or from you, waiting from you, but you forget. So they are asking your head. So you do marry again and share to them. I name. So then they meet the rush. Offer food, clothes, or some dwelling place and share a marriage. The Peta enjoy, appreciate that marriage, and they pre-plan the Peta war. So in that story, we can know that we cannot have Peta directly, or we cannot give something directly to the Peta. They cannot receive. And we have to do marriage with the purpose of for them, with the reference to them. And after that, we have to share by name. In this case, we have to careful. We have to be careful that even though we are doing marriage and sharing marriage, if they don't know, they cannot get. Even though they know, the recipient or the person who received their donation is not graduate or wicked person, they cannot get the result of marriage. Another one, even though the recipient is a graduate, but the offertory that then they offer is not getting by righteously or lawfully. They earned the offertory unlawfully, which as you are. So they cannot get married. Veda cannot get married. That's very important. Not easy to get from the human world. So we have to be careful for that when we are going to do marriage. We have to choose the virtuous person. We have to search for the pure, good, pure offertory. We have to refer them by name too. Otherwise, we cannot get. So 3 points, 3 Peta to have the Peta and doing the marriage.
Okay, Bante. So that is only from the sharing of merits that we have done, right, Bante? Bante, what about if we are taught to meditate on metta bhavana, Bante, like a loving kindness? So many says that one of the purpose or one of the benefit that we share the loving kindness, that is also for those kind of beings like Peta, right? So can Peta get something from, for example, a monk is meditating loving kindness, or when we spread the loving kindness meditation, can they get something, Bante?
That's a very big question. I was thinking, in this case, we have to look at the explanation of patidana, patidana. So, in the case of Paratatupa Sivita, I had read some textbook and then no wrong. Only dana, only merit, charity can have Paratatupa Sivita. The other sila, samadhi, penya cannot share. Or maybe the power or the loving kindness, or power or the loving kindness, they may enjoy in some way. No, the whole life cannot change. They cannot change the whole life. For example, like you said, loving kindness, in Myanmar we have the one story, the shadow Tampulu Siaro, very famous. He was known as Arhanta. So he lived in Chaose Township. His monastery compound is a little bit large. One day, one convoy is a naughty guy. He drank alcohol and play the cards, everything he do as he like. Not control himself. So he had to control the gong. He had to send the gong to the field and come back like this. We call it a Nwachangda convoy. And one day, two wolves fighting each other, very seriously, civilly. So moving from the far place to close to the monastery. Eventually, they are fighting. Why fighting? They reach inside the compound of the monastery where Tambudu Siaro stayed. As soon as they reach inside the monastery compound, that two bulls, angry bull, aggressive bull, getting cold, and they kind each other by licking each other. Incredibly, on seeing this fight, this event, the convoy got shot. Oh, this event, the Tirisana, aggressive bull, can appreciate the power of loving kindness of the Siaro. Why not me? Why not myself? Cannot appreciate, cannot join Siaro's loving kindness. So I should get back the very bad habits and he became the monk and stay under the guise of the Siaroji. In such a case, in some way, the power of loving kindness, and they may enjoy, the Peta may enjoy. But in the case of Patidana, only charity can have certainty. Only charity can have certainty. And that is okay.
And the sharing merit has to be done right after we perform that charity, right, Bande?
Yeah, of course. Without charity, maybe only Sila, Buddha, chanting, maybe cannot have done.
I mean, like, for example, I do the charity this morning, and then maybe I do the sharing merit in the afternoon, like that is not possible.
And then no problem, possible. Whatever you do, you just mention what time I had done merit. And please enjoy this merit I share you. You see like this.
Yeah. Bante, after the Peta got the charity, I mean, after the relatives, share the merits to the Peta, whether they pass away from that realm and reborn into another planes of existence, Bante.
Peta.
Yeah, the Peta.
Some case, they change their life, free from the Peta war. In some case, it's a story. They cannot change, they cannot free from the Peta war, but they got the better life. Before, they had no food. After enjoying merit, they may have some food. It depends on the case, depends on their own karma too.
Okay, Bante. Yeah, very interesting about this kind of sharing merits, because we did it many times or many cultures. I think every country has their own culture of Patidana, right, Bante? Bante, like for example, when we are doing charity and then we share our merits to the departed ones, like to those who were born in Peta realm. So is it that they can only wait for our sharing merits, or they can also do, for example, in the act of our charity, for example, like giving charity to a monastery, can Peta being also be involved in our doing good deeds like that, Bante? Or they can only wait for us to share the merit, Bante?
So they have not been to involve. Just wait. Just looking for their food and just wait. They have no belonging. So how they can help?
But they can be present near us, even in monastery like that, Bante?
Presently,
Yeah, they can be like when we are doing the charity in the monastery. Can they be close to us?
they say the on case. In some case, if the guardian deity doesn't allow, they cannot come. If they get guardians deities allow, they can come. If they know, they can come. And from seeing path side, also they can enjoy and then so. In this case, in Myanmar, Sansiaroji, when they are doing marriage, before the marriage, upon the marriage, Sansiaroji invited the seated person by name, the better person by name, like that, Mr. A. You are religious going to perform the marriage. Please come and join. Stay here. If there is some guardian deity, I request the guardian deity to let him or her come in, and so on, like this. So it is also necessary to do such a thing.
Okay, Pak Ari, please.
Yeah. I think we have another more question here. Like there is a book, Bante, in Kudaka Nikaya. It's called Peta, whether those Peta recalled in the Petawatu book, there is all Peta regarded as Paradatupa Jivika Peta, Bante, or any kinds of Peta.
Peta Watu.
Yeah, in Petawatu.
And Peta Watu, as far as I'm aware of, that only 4 types of Peta, they mentioned 4 types of Peta. The other 21 types of Petas are mentioned in the Vinaya Pitaka and Sanyutta Pitaka. And the Peta Watu, there's many interesting stories. One of them I like to
Tell us, Bante.
I like to share. How do you think the Petas and human can have a relationship? That's the question. How do you think?
I think what I heard, maybe they like influence our thought like that when they like the way we think
they control our body
like that maybe.
And this one also many times we have in Myanmar culture and Myanmar many cases such a event, such a accident. They control other body and they say what they want to do. Even myself, I had experience in Thailand.
Thailand goes.
Not Thailand, but Myanmar people in Thailand. That's my experience. I just want to say. And that's experience also past time in my life. Oh, wonderful. We visited the Koh Samui Island, very famous Koh Samui Island. As soon as we arrived, the house where we stay at night, overnight, one lady lost conscience and control by the separate. So their family member cannot control what happened. So actually the lady is very weak, not small and thin, and look like a very weak. But at the time, she was very strong. 2 or 3, 4% cannot control. Cannot control to be still. What happened? Just say. Because he heard, there is a monk. He wished to share a marriage. He said like this. So they had emergency donation, emergency charity, and they invite us in the morning, and they please join for breakfast. We want to do marriage for such a person. This person name was still, I remember, Masanwe or something like this, Myanmar lady name. At the morning, I and my friend only two. We had breakfast. After breakfast, we start to perform the ceremony marriage. At the time, I just invite her by name. Now, Masanwe, we are going to do marriage for you. Just come here, like this. The lady has also a little bit disease, not feeling well, something like that. A lady who was controlled by the spirit. So she was sit in front of me. We do that as a procedure, according to procedure. Why I given the 5 reasons? That spirit come again. Oh, shaking the whole body. Shaking the whole body. I just say, okay, wait. Don't disturb. The other people control him, control her. I just say, wait until we share marriage. Okay, don't disturb her. Just become here, sit down here. I just indicate some particular place. A little bit quietly. At the end of the sharing marriage, again, she controlled. She was unconscious. She lost conscious. Oh, we share kuso amya. And so she says, sadhu. On down. About 3 minutes, she just on down. And after that, she wakened. As normal. Nothing happened, like nothing happened to her. She doesn't know what happened in her body, like this. In the Thailand, that's my experience. That's my real experience. The true story. Oh, wonderful. Okay. Yes. Another reason is actually I want to say that the story about the Petas and human lady. And okay, if you are a student, you can get some assignment to research Peta, Sutta, Peta, and in the Peta, what to Alito, you can see Sutta Peta. That story is very interesting. That Peta Deva, Peta Asura, Peta Asura, human lady get married together and stay for a long time. In the Peta is the mention before our Buddha appeared, about 700 years before our Lord Buddha, Gautama Buddha appeared, there was a guy. He was a good person, and he gave the service to the Mystica Buddha the whole time. One day, he was going to marry another lady, one lady. So, at the day, he was before doing the wedding ceremony. He want to river and to take a bath. Unfortunately, he was bitten by the snake. He was dying. So, because he has attachment to her, how do you call brown, groom, bright to her bride, attachment to her bride, she became Peta. he become Peta. Because of his good deed to the supreme the physical Buddha, he become Deva Asura. And because of his body, which body I forget what is his body. He had a Peta Sita to her right. He become Peta. So simi enjoyment, simi punishment, Deva Asura. So he stay attachment. He stay fall in love. He stay fall in love. So he trying to associate with her. In which way he can get again? So he think, he contemplate himself that why I become got a many good building mansion. He knew that because of the subject to the physical Buddha. So in which way he can bring his bride to the mansion, to his bema, to his building, to his palace. So he knew if the guest offers something to the physical Buddha, even as a human life, he can bring. He knew that, so he approached to the physical Buddha. He created himself as a human being. Approach physical Buddha as, and what do you need? At the time, the physical Buddha sewing the rope. We need a string. We need a string, a ball of string. Okay, and it is so. Please go such a house, and you may have such a ball of string. So physical Buddha go the house, and the girl knew, and she offered the string. She offered the ball of string. After she offered the string, and after physical Buddha went back, the Deva, Peta, Deva Asura come as a human, and he requested her parents to get married with the girl. So they celebrate the wedding ceremony, and 2 days or 3 days stay at the house, and later, okay, let me take my wife to my village. Okay, you can take. The parents doesn't know. The parents doesn't know. So he took the bride to the village, and the lady, the guest, enjoying the sexual pleasure, enjoying the pleasure in the hair, as a human world, as a human life, as a human life. After a long time, she thought that 7 days. After a long time, she was bored to stay at the village. Let me go back and visit my parents. No, you cannot go now. Your parents are no longer there. Time passed away already 700 years as a human lifespan. No. I thought only 7 days. Let me go back. Okay, I cannot stop you. You can go. Took the lady to the village, to the place where their parents stay. So as soon as they arrived at the village, the guest became very old lady. There was no more their parents. She knew nobody around there. Everybody is new for her. So as soon as they reached, she became very old and sick and died, passed away. And that story is mentioned in the Peta too. In this case, we can knew that the relationship between the Asura, Peta, Asura, or Deva Asura, and human had such a story. maybe 2 or 3 stories in the text we can find. Okay.
It's interesting story, Bante.
Yeah.
Mr. Kadek, and continue.
Yes, Bante. Bante mentioned also that when we see like a Peta being or maybe a ghost, that we should not actually be afraid of them, right, Bante? Because they are in needs of our sharing merits or our help, like that, Bante. But I was once told that when we forget to share merits to the relatives or to the departed ones, like that, and then when they realize, like maybe in the story mentioned before, when they realize that we have forgotten them, like that, and they become disappointed or maybe they become sad, so can they also harm human or harm their relative, Bande? Or do something bad to their relative who have forgotten to share merits to them, Bande?
Because of angry.
Yes, so I'm hungry, like that, Bande.
Angry or angry? What?
Both, Bante. It can be both hungry and also angry.
Disappointed or upset, like that, Bande.
Yeah, they may know. Like a Premisara story. At the night time, they shouted their voice very terrible, like a kind of humming. No? If they had the power, their reality is a weak karma. Their reality is power of karma is still weak. And if they have a strong power, they can harm. And then they can harm. But I don't have the evidence of reference story. But logically, I think so. They can have.
Yes, okay, Bante. So it's a very I think many good fact that we can learn from this Peta and Asura realm also. Like before, we have discussed that even though we have done many good deeds throughout our life, but there is also one not less important thing to be practiced, like how to prepare our death, like that, Bande. How we maintain maybe good minds close to our death, like that, so that even though if we have done many meritorious deeds, but if we cannot keep our mind prior to our death in a good state, so it may also lead us to the woeful state, right, Bandi?
I don't get your point.
Like for example, when we have done many good deeds, so we have also to we have to practice to keep our mind pure even prior to our death, right? Even because when we die with the attached mind, I think that is the main cause for us to be reborn in a woeful state one day.
Sure. Even we had the story the Asoka, King Asoka, even though he offered money to the Sasana, because he had the regret he is going to die if he can't able to stay. In that case, at the time when I explained the karma, I did not explain very clearly about the karma in this case. Okay, let me explain again about the karma. In this case, 4 types of karma that produce the second light. The first, Kruka karma, heavy karma, and second, asana karma, very close karma, and thus asana karma, habitual karma, and post kadata karma. We don't do it on purpose, just doing, not much attention. So in this 4 karmas, the procedure, in order, they get the result for second life. Kruka karma means the heavy karma. In the case of Agusala, we call Panchanandriya karma. Panchanandriya karma, the Pitu Kadeka, matricide, killing the father. Madhu Kadeka, matricide, killing the mother. Pitu Kadeka, Arhanta Kadeka, killing the Arhant. And Lohito Padaka, harming the Buddha to be injured. And Sangha Vedaka, causing the schism among the Sangha, causing the breaking among the Sangha. So if we commit any one of these 5 Panchanariya karma, surely the karma will give result the next life, second life. We cannot avoid. No way to avoid. In the case of Kusala, we can say like a Rupavasara karma. Rupavasara karma means jhana. We have to practice meditation until we attain the jhana. First jhana, second jhana, third jhana, and so on. Even though we practice 11 kindness, we have to practice to attain the first jhana, second jhana, and so on. So, if the most heaviest karma is a magga karma or phala karma. So, after we attain like a Rupavasara karma, jhana, we are sure we will be reborn in the Brahma world. Thus, jhana or karma, jhana karma, will produce as a result next life, a second life. So we are not sure whether we had the Ruka karma or not. The second karma, if we don't have the Ruka karma, the second asana karma will produce it as a result. Asana karma is at the moment of the dying, we perform. At the moment of the dying, we perform. Even though we had the habitual karma the whole night, at the moment of the dying, that we commit some meritorious and demerit, that karma will produce it as a result. If we don't have the asana karma, habitual karma will produce asana karma. Asana karma means that every day we perform, like practicing meditation and keeping the silence, keeping the precept, offering the food, Sangamamba or to the Buddha image, or giving the service to the society. Every good karma, everything good karma. That's habitual karma, asana karma, will produce as a result the next life. If we don't have the Kruka karma and asana karma. And then after that, Katata karma means we just had time. We did not remember and we don't do it on purpose. We don't do it deliberately. Just in accident we had done. And that karma will produce the result. So in the case of at the moment of dying, very important. Very important. If we don't have the practice, if we don't control our mind, we are not sure. At the moment of dying, we cannot control our mind or not. So we may commit demerit and unwholesome deed, or bodily action, or bhava action, or mental action. Even the mental action that will produce it as a result. This life. You know the Mata Kundali Vuttu in the Dhammapara.
Yes,
The whole life he had done nothing good.
Yes.
Just stay carelessly. And out of compassion, the Buddha went his house and show himself and show his ray. And Mata Kundali, on seeing that the Buddha's appearance, he just appreciate and just please with the Buddha in his mind only. That's Monday action. Produce, get result to be born in the Devaran, a story too. So that at the time or at the moment of the time, it's very important. Okay.
Yeah, it is very interesting, Bante. And this is one last question, Bante, because we are talking about the misery realm or woeful state of existence. If we talk in general, Bante, what are the cause of being to be reborn into hell, into Peta realm, or into animal world, Bante?
That's a good question. I answer already in our talk. In Buddhism, we have the kusala and akusala. We differentiate, we distinguish kusala and akusala. We can say easily dosarita karma, kaya dosarita, 3 kinds of kaya dosarita: killing living being, stealing other property, and committing sexual misconduct. That's kaya dosarita, where cause has to be born in woeful state. If that karma stay heavy, where sun has to the head, and the karma is a goddamn lesser power, where sun has to the Peta or to the human animal or Asura or. So, then dosarita, 3 already misconduct, 4 other misconduct, Pusawara, Pisunawasa, Prusawasa, Sampatlapa. In Bali, in English, telling lies and slandering and breaking other relationships, breaking other lives, and vain talk. These 4 types of very misconduct where cause us to be awful state. And the mental misconduct, Mesatiti, Vyavara, and Abhijja. Abhijja, Mesatiti, Vyavara. Abhijja means covetousness, greedy, unlawfully, unreasonably. Whatever he sees, he just wish, just want to occupy. And that's greedy. Vyavara, evil, always thinking to harm others, always thinking to destroy other beings. That's Vyavara also where forms, where produce it is a result to be born in the woeful state. And Mesatiti, round view, not believe in the karma and it is a result. That's 3 dosarita, 10 dosarita, because the misconduct where to woeful state. That akusala karma, we call akusala karma and dosarita karma same synonym. No? His akusala karma heavy, go to the head. And lesser power, go to the Peta or Asura or animal. So the cause was being born in woeful state is, or in all, akusala karma, dosarita karma. So we need to be mindful on the dosarita karma, misconduct. Okay.
Thank you very much, Bante. Okay, Mr. Kadek, I think
Yes. Okay, Bante. Thank you very much, Bante. I think the time is up for our discussion. And maybe later on we will continue with some
already,
question answer.
Your connection also lost.
Yes,
Bante. Okay, Bante. One more time, we would like to express our gratitude, Bante.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time, Bante, that you available for tonight for the discussions. We are talking about the Peta and also the Asura. And later on, we are going to have a questions from our viewers, right, Mr. Kadek?
Okay.
Yes, we
Yes.
may have some question from our viewers, Bante, that you may answer, Bante.
Okay, that's my pleasure. If I can answer, I will answer. If I
Right.
cannot, I will say sorry.
And we will read the question one by one after another later, and Bante, you will answer.
Okay, that's my pleasure. I will do my best.
Yes. Kita lihat pertanyaan yang sudah masuk melalui kolom chat YouTube ya. Kita
Baik, Pak
bisa ditampilkan. Ya, Bante, tonight we have already a few questions that the audience have written through the chat column from the live YouTube, Bante, and we will read the question for you, and later on Bante can answer the question, and we will translate also for the audience, Bante. Okay.
Yes.
And the first question, it's from the Arya Liberty. So the question is about the Peta beings, Bante. So can Peta beings? Oh, I'm sorry. We have the first question is from Dharmadasi. Dharmadasi. The question is it true that that Dewa Asura, the position of Dewa Asura, is above the human realm, and Peta Asura is below or lower than human realm? Can you please explain about this, Bante? Thank you.
Okay, generally we can say Deva Asura is like a higher than human being. Peta Asura is a lower than human being, and generally, but even the Deva Asura, as I talk in the life, they has two kinds of position, like a semi-punishment and semi-enjoyment. For example, daytime they have to enjoy the pressure, and nighttime they have to suffer. So in this case, we can say exactly even the Deva Asura, at the daytime they are higher than human. At nighttime they are lower than human. We can say like this. In general, we can say Deva Asura is higher than human. Peta Asura is surely lower than human position.
Okay, Bante, I will translate for the audience. Ya, jadi memang ketika kita mengatakan secara umum ya, jadi posisi dari Dewa Asura itu lebih tinggi daripada alam manusia, dan Peta Asura itu lebih rendah daripada alam manusia. Tetapi kita juga perlu perhatikan sebagaimana Bante juga menjelaskan tadi, yaitu Dewa Asura itu adalah makhluk yang menikmati setengah kebahagiaan atau setengah kesenangan, dan juga setengah hukuman atau penderitaan, seperti itu. Jadi mungkin di pagi hari ketika Dewa Asura menikmati kebahagiaan, di malam hari Dewa Asura mengalami atau menderita dari hukumannya. Nah, jadi mungkin jika di pagi hari itu Dewa Asura itu posisinya mungkin bisa dikatakan lebih tinggi dari manusia, tetapi ketika sudah di malam hari itu mungkin lebih rendah dari manusia. Tetapi secara umum itu bisa dikatakan bahwa posisi dari Dewa Asura itu lebih tinggi dari manusia, dan Peta Asura itu lebih rendah dari manusia. Ya, begitu. Silakan Pak Ari, kita ke pertanyaan berikutnya.
We have questions from Dendang Sutikno. Good evening, Bante. I want to ask a question. When we do the sharing of merit to our departed relative, that's possibly that our departed relatives are born in Peta world, whether the sharing of merit that we have done could help them immediately, or they have to wait for a long time, Bante.
all the Pratatupa Jivita Peta, as soon as they enjoy, they appreciate, or they say sadhu, they can get the benefits immediately. No need to wait for a long time. No need to wait for a long time. Like a molecule power. And the test say like this. Okay, you get my point, right?
Jadi untuk jawaban atas pertanyaan itu, untuk makhluk yaitu dari para datupa jiwika peta ya. Jadi begitu mereka mengetahui limpahan jasa yang diberikan, kemudian bisa mengapresiasi limpahan jasa itu, maka mereka akan bisa langsung menikmati hasilnya. Ya, jadi layaknya kekuatan ataupun keajaiban yang terjadi yang mereka alami seperti itu, mereka akan langsung bisa menikmati hasil dari limpahan jasa mereka. Ya, gitu. Terima kasih. Oke, kita menuju ke pertanyaan berikutnya. Oke, this one is from Arya Liberty, Bante. Maybe related to that the story also Bante have told previously. So this is a question about the Peta being, Bante. Can Peta being understand the language of humans? And for example, this is the follow up of the question. How about if family in Indonesia, but they want to practice the patidana, but the relative is born in a Peta realm in abroad, so the relative is a foreign Peta, and they stay in Indonesia. So maybe how it will be related.
I never came across such a question. This one was a little bit hard to say exactly. In general, we can say because of the beings are the realm, how to say? For them, actually, I don't want to say exactly because I never studied such a question and such a case. Mostly, roughly, we understand in Myanmar that the Myanmar pathway, if he reborn as a Besawa or as a deity, and they understand Myanmar language. I just how to say, thinking of, and not what the test said. This is not what the test said. And in the Abhinyana, we had the one Abhinyana, Niroti Prisambhida. The Buddha has Niroti Prisambhida. Because of this power, he can speak all the language, or he can speak. He can make every living being understand what he said, even the different languages. That is the power of the one Abhinyana, Niroti Prisambhida. Is very important for the Buddha. He understands whatever language come to and say, talk to him. But for the ordinary being, for the Puthojana, I'm not sure whether they can speak other language influently or they can understand other language influently. I'm not sure. But his paskama, if his paskama is good enough to receive the relatives' marriage, sharing marriage, even though he may understand or he their language or not, he may enjoy and he may get benefit. If he still had good inner karma to receive such a power. Let's say say sorry to answer this question exactly. I cannot get the answer. Okay, just explain like this.
Oke, thank you Bante. Ya, jadi untuk pertanyaan tadi ya, ini sebenarnya juga sebelumnya Bante tidak pernah memikirkan mengenai pertanyaan seperti itu. Dan untuk menjawabnya berdasarkan teks juga selama dari yang beliau pelajari, itu juga beliau belum pernah terpikirkan mengenai hal tersebut. Namun apa yang dipercaya tentunya di Myanmar dan bukan yang tertulis dalam teks, tapi di Myanmar misalnya mereka meyakini bahwa ketika kerabat kita meninggal, maka mereka mungkin terlahir di alam peta, kita melimpahkan kebajikan. Nah, mereka pasti akan memahami bahasa Myanmar. Nah, tapi tentu berbeda kasusnya misalnya terdapat sebuah abhinyana ya, kekuatan batin itu yang dimiliki hanya oleh Buddha, di mana Buddha memiliki satu kekuatan yang disebut juga sebagai niruti patisambhida ya. Jadi niruti patisambhida itu suatu kekuatan di mana Buddha bisa berbicara dengan makhluk apapun dengan menggunakan bahasa apapun ya. Jadi apa yang diucapkan oleh Buddha itu akan dipahami oleh setiap makhluk apapun yang mendengarkannya, seperti itu. Nah, namun kekuatan seperti itu hanya dimiliki oleh seorang Buddha. Untuk umat biasa ataupun makhluk-makhluk yang biasa tidak memiliki kekuatan seperti itu ya. Tapi poin penting di sini yang bisa kita pahami ini mungkin adalah karena menerima limpahan jasa itu juga bergantung dari karma lampau dari makhluk peta itu ya. Jadi kalau memang karma lampau dari makhluk peta tersebut mendukung, jadi mendukung untuknya itu bisa menerima limpahan jasa yang diberikan oleh kerabatnya, maka dia juga akan bisa menikmati limpahan jasa tersebut. Tapi jika kekuatan karma lampaunya itu tidak cukup kuat atau tidak cukup mendukung, maka tentunya juga limpahan jasa yang disampaikan kerabatnya tidak bisa diterima olehnya ya. Jadi sekali lagi Bante juga mohon maaf mungkin tidak bisa memberikan jawaban secara spesifik karena hubungannya dengan bahasa dari yang beliau pelajari dalam teks juga tidak banyak dibahas secara detail mengenai hal itu gitu.
Okay, Bante, let's move to next question.
Wait.
Okay, Bante, you want to say something more? Okay.
Okay, and if he reborn in other country or other land, even though not native country, he may be born in the other country as a Peta. He may still remember his own language. Just assume it. Okay, stay. Go to India to say sadhu. Just say like this.
Ya, Bante sedikit menambahkan ya. Jadi walaupun mungkin kerabat kita meninggal terlahir sebagai makhluk peta mungkin di negara lain, tentunya menurut beliau mengasumsikan bahwa makhluk yang terlahir di sana itu masih mengerti bahasa aslinya ya. Jadi untuk bisa mengapresiasi sebuah limpahan kebajikan dan berbahagia terhadapnya dengan mengucapkan sadhu, maka itu juga akan bisa membantu makhluk peta tersebut. Oke, mungkin pertanyaan berikutnya, silakan Pak.
Okay, we got another question, Bante, from Titin Larasati. This question is whether the hungry ghost or the Peta, which is usually seen, can be seen by human being, whether this also considered as Peta, Bante. The ghost which is sometimes can be seen by human being, are they also considered as Peta?
Yeah, we can consider as a Peta because there's same kinds of ram. The ghost or spirit or anyone like a lower state is the lineage to Peta. Peta lineage we can.
Bante, maybe regarding that question, I may have also a follow-up question, Bante, because one of my friend before told me if we want to differentiate whether is it a Peta in case of ghost like that, or is it a Dewa being? Because in Myanmar also, as far as I know, many sayadaw, many monks also when they recite like a patana, many monks also can meet like a Dewa beings. And one of my friends also told me that the differentiation between ghost in case of a Peta and a celestial being, a Dewa, ghosts usually their body is dark. I mean, not shiny, but Dewa being usually they appear in a shiny or glowing like that shadow. And another way also to differentiate, usually ghosts cause the bad smell, and Dewa beings usually cause a very like a good smell like that. So is it possible the fact like that one day?
I think it's possible. Sociology, the experience, he told like this, Sociology, he always tells his experience when he recites Patana one time. The whole monastery, the whole his kuti get a sweet smell. He believed that the Deva can listen. For the Peta, and then this is you are right. When they approach, we may get the very best man. We can appreciate like this. The appearance also, Deva appearance very pleasant. Peta appearance may be unpleasant. This concept, I agree that.
Ya, jadi sahabat kepo, saya tadi sedikit juga menanyakan mengenai pengalaman dan juga pengetahuan yang pernah saya dengar sebelumnya. Jadi bagaimana kita membedakan makhluk halus yang kita lihat itu, apakah itu makhluk peta, hantu seperti itu, atau makhluk dewa gitu ya Pak Arya. Yeah. Jadi biasanya dikatakan peta atau hantu itu biasanya menimbulkan bau yang tidak enak atau bau busuk. Sedangkan makhluk-makhluk dewa itu bisa memberikan seperti bau-bau harum. Dan ada satu budaya menarik juga di Myanmar, di mana para biku sayadaw ya sering memanjatkan parita, biasanya padhana ya, seperti salah satu sayadaw, Bamo sayadaw tersebut. Beliau sangat rajin untuk recite patana setiap hari, dan menurut beliau setelah recite patana seperti itu sering mencium bau-bau harum dan merasakan kehadiran dari makhluk dewa. Jadi sebenarnya masuk akal jika makhluk hantu atau peta itu biasanya menimbulkan bau yang tidak sedap, tetapi penampilan dari seorang makhluk dewa itu biasanya jauh lebih menyenangkan, lebih tenang daripada penampilan dari makhluk peta gitu.
Jadi Pak Kadek tadi dari pertanyaan Titin Larasati ya Pak Kadek. Jadi hantu yang kadangkala itu bisa nampak atau terlihat oleh manusia itu menurut Bante tadi seperti yang sudah dijelaskan itu masuk dalam kategori makhluk peta itu.
Iya, betul.
Ya.
Oke. Kita ke pertanyaan berikutnya, silakan. Oke, Pak Ari.
Okay. Bante, we have another questions from Mita Official. Bante, if there is among our relatives passing away, and of course we doesn't know, we don't know where there will be reborn, where there will be reborn, and if we do the sharing of merit, when should we, or whether we should do that the sharing of merit, Bante, even though we don't know yet where do our relatives reborn, and when do the sharing of merit should be done, Bante? That's a question.
One.
Yeah, since the day our relative passed away. Yeah, how long we should do that sharing of merit?
As long as we stay convenient. As not only we dedicate only our beloved one passed away to see that person, but also to just indicate or just make a reference all the related in samsara. I share this knowledge, especially as such a person who passed away today or yesterday or last week, including all the related in samsara we had encountered. So in this way, if we do marriage, they are married, even though that our specific person not sure he can join or not, the other related Peta may join. He may get some benefit from our marriage. So in Myanmar, since the day he or she passed away, we do marriage every day at 2:70. Every day morning, and we invite the monk and offer some food and road and some offertory them. 70. And some people 70 and 1 month and 3 months and 1 year and a day they do. Even for the whole life, some children, son and daughter, they left their parents, so they just do marriage there for a long time. As long as they are convenient, they just do marriage and share marriage. So we cannot say exactly, we should not say exactly, you should do only this period of time. No. The doing marriage is a good anytime, anyway. Many time, no problem. So whatever we do marriage, we just share to the person we love or who passed away, including other related in samsara. That is a good point for other related to get benefits. So start from the day he passed away. You do marriage. As long as you are able to do, you just do marriage there. In the death is mentioned that after 2 days or 3 days, after 3 days, we should do marriage and share marriage, because for the deceased person, the person who passed away, he is newly born in the new life, new realm, so he cannot, orientate himself in the new realm. He may lose as soon as he passed away. We do marriage. He may not know, he may not enjoy our marriage. That's why the text said after 3 days. That is in the case that the relative can do only once time. Otherwise, our relative can do many times as much as they can. They just let them do and share marriage, not only to that specific person, but also all the Peta that they who were our related in samsara. In this way, we also get benefit from the marriage. Our related in the Peta world will also get the benefit. So we cannot designate what time we should do marriage. Just do what you are able to do. Okay.
Oke, ya jadi sahabat kepo tadi seperti dijelaskan oleh Bante ya, ketika kita melakukan pelimpahan jasa kebajikan, itu jangan hanya ditujukan kepada mungkin kerabat kita yang baru saja meninggal seperti itu, tetapi baik juga untuk dilimpahkan kepada seluruh kerabat yang mungkin itu pernah berhubungan dengan kita di alam samsara ini ya, di samsara kita yang kita hidupi sekarang ini,
Jadi baik juga jika kita melimpahkan jasa kebajikan kita itu kepada seluruh kerabat, seluruh leluhur itu yang sudah mendahului kita ya. Jadi dengan melakukan seperti itu juga akan memberikan manfaat yang lebih besar, tidak hanya untuk diri sendiri, tetapi juga untuk seluruh kerabat ataupun leluhur yang sudah mendahului kita selama kita berada di samsara ini ya. Nah, kemudian tadi hubungannya dengan waktu untuk melaksanakan limpahan jasa kebajikan terhadap mereka yang sudah meninggal. Jadi biasanya itu kalau di Myanmar misalnya budayanya itu adalah di waktu ketika kerabat kita itu meninggal, kemudian upacara selesai dan lain sebagainya, itu langsung melakukan kebajikan juga ya, seterusnya sampai 7 hari biasanya budayanya ya. Jadi mulai dari keluarga atau kerabat kita meninggal di hari itu, kemudian kita melakukan kebajikan, melimpahkan jasa kebajikan terus-menerus ya setiap hari sampai 7 hari. Nah, beberapa orang juga mungkin memiliki budaya yang berbeda, misalnya 7 hari, kemudian 1 bulan, 3 bulan, ataupun tahunan seperti itu. Nah, jadi itu untuk beberapa misalnya ketika kita mengadakannya dalam waktu-waktu tertentu. Tapi sebenarnya jika kita bisa melaksanakannya setiap waktu, itu juga adalah hal yang bagus juga, akan sangat bermanfaat juga. Jadi tidak perlu kita mencari waktu yang tepat atau waktu yang pas mungkin untuk melakukan. Ketika kita bisa melakukan suatu kebajikan, kita lakukan kebajikan, kemudian kita limpahkan jasa kebajikan kita kepada mendiang ataupun kerabat yang sudah meninggal. Nah, kaitannya dengan hal ini juga di dalam teks sebenarnya disebutkan ya. Jadi kalau teks itu menyebutkan adalah jangka waktunya itu 3 hari setelah kerabat atau keluarga kita meninggal, kemudian kita melakukan upacara untuk pelimpahan jasa kebajikan ya. Jadi mengapa 3 hari? Ini penjelasannya adalah karena biasanya misalnya keluarga atau kerabat kita yang baru saja meninggal, mereka terlahir di alam yang baru, itu mungkin pertama-tama belum terlalu terbiasa dengan alamnya ya. Jadi belum begitu mengingat mengenai kerabat yang sebelumnya, mungkin masih beradaptasi dan lain sebagainya, sehingga dikatakan dalam teks itu ketika sudah mencapai 3 hari biasanya mereka sudah mulai terbiasa gitu dengan alam yang baru seperti itu. Maka dalam teks dikatakan waktunya adalah 3 hari setelah kerabat kita meninggal. Tapi itu adalah bagi mereka yang mungkin sempat atau bisa melakukan kebajikan itu 1 kali saja. Nah, buat kita misalnya yang bisa melakukan kebajikan lebih dari 1 kali, itu di setiap waktu itu akan sangat bagus untuk melakukan kebajikan dan juga membagikan jasa kebajikan yang kita lakukan ya. Jadi poin pertama adalah bahwa kita baik juga ketika kita melimpahkan jasa kebajikan itu tidak hanya pada 1 kerabat, tapi seluruh kerabat, seluruh yang pernah berhubungan dengan kita di alam samsara kita ini ya. Dan ya untuk masalah waktu itu semakin sering kita bisa melakukan kebajikan, maka manfaatnya juga akan menjadi lebih besar, gitu Pak Ari.
Ya, benar. Baik, kita ke pertanyaan selanjutnya ya Pak Kadek. Bante, we have another question from Fiona Charlotte. Wandami Bante, if the Peta being is at home or in another place, and then we are doing the patidana in the monastery, for example, Bante, and we mention the name of the departed relatives. Whether this departed relative or the one who already passed away might know the sharing of merit done by their relatives, Bante, whether they know or not. Because, we do the sharing of merit in the monastery.
Different place.
Different places, Bante.
If they don't know, they cannot join. If they know, they can join. They can appreciate, and they have no divine eye. No, they were thought out. They cannot hear the voice from far away. That's why we need to make sure that we invite our deceased person to come around the place where we do merit, or Otherwise, maybe our relative is a little bit far away from the place we do. We just request other Peta or other Deva and just let him or her know. Please tell our relative that your relatives are too married for you, just enjoy. Like a communicator, transformer between us, Beta and us. It such a volunteer, there is such a volunteer at the time, he may know, he may enjoy, he may get benefits. Otherwise, the different place, he doesn't know, he cannot join. If he know, he just says do and enjoy, he may get benefits. So the point is, make sure that our relative know. Okay.
So like in Parita chanting also Bante in Patidana, right? So may God tell the relative who doesn't know about this sharing merit like that Bante. So possible if for example a Dewa being maybe can deliver our message to the departed relative like that Bante.
Yeah. Possible. Like that's why when we share merit, we used to mention the name of Shamaraja, the name of Saka, and the name of the guardians, Deva, guardians of the house, guardian of the monastery, and so on. And that's why that guardian Deva get married and he may deliver our message to our relative too. And then our relative will get benefits from this way. That's possible. But possible, just say possible. Okay.
Baik, nanti bisa ditambahkan ya Pak Kadek. Jadi jawaban dari Bante Wisuddha bahwa ketika pelimpahan jasa dilakukan ya di tempat yang berbeda bisa saja petanya tidak bisa mengetahui. Oleh karena itu penting ketika melakukan pelimpahan jasa itu harus diundang ya. Jadi departed relatif atau keluarga yang sudah meninggal dunia itu harus diundang begitu. Nah, cara mengundangnya juga bisa dengan cara meminta para peta yang lain atau dewa yang lain untuk turut serta mengundang keluarga kita yang telah meninggal dunia. Demikian ya Pak Kadek, tapi tadi ditambahkan pertanyaan dari Pak Kadek.
Ya, jadi karena memang makhluk peta ya, kerabat kita atau keluarga kita yang mungkin terlahir di alam peta, jika tempatnya berjauhan karena mereka juga tidak memiliki kekuatan dari telinga ya di basota ya, kesaktian mendengar dari tempat jauh, maka akan sulit bagi mereka juga jika limpahan jasa yang kita berikan satu tidak diketahui oleh mereka atau tidak bisa didengar oleh mereka ya.
Benar,
makanya tadi saya juga menambahkan biasanya kita bacakan di Patidana itu juga kan bagaimana kita juga memohon agar makhluk-makhluk dewa itu membantu untuk mengirimkan limpahan jasa ini bagi kerabat kita yang tidak mengetahui.
Ya.
Nah, Bante juga menjelaskan maka dari itu pada saat kita melakukan pelimpahan jasa itu kita juga menyebut makhluk-makhluk dewa ya.
Benar,
jadi misalnya dari Dewa Catumarajika,
Raja
Dewa
Yama
Saka,
juga.
Raja Dewa begitu ya. Nah, jadi dengan kita turut serta mengundang makhluk dewa tersebut mungkin ya, dan di sini ditekankan juga memang masih ada kemungkinan nantinya makhluk dewa itu akan bisa mengirimkan pesan limpahan jasa kepada kerabat yang mungkin tidak mengetahui upacara pelimpahan jasa itu begitu.
Benar sekali ya.
Oke, terima kasih. Silakan untuk next question. Oke, Bante, it's from Titin S. Good evening, Bante. If Peta being can accept the sharing merit, from the charity, right? When they can accept the sharing merit from the action of charity, like that. What if we try to offer directly food to them? So can they enjoy also? So I think it is also related, we have a culture in Indonesia. For the departed relative, we provide also foods one day. So we give them food, maybe we put in a shrine like that, or sometimes we put it in front of our house, so that the relative that may came to our house, they can enjoy the food as well one day. So can they enjoy this kind of food that we offer one day directly?
It's not sure. They may, because some Peta, as we said in the light talk, they are looking for food in the very dirty place. Their food is our remainder, right? Our remainder. They may, they may enjoy the ordinary food, material food. But they may enjoy that we provide, but they cannot change them, how to say, they are light by the ordinary support. Like only maybe, and then only food they can enjoy. For the clothing or for the dwelling place, they cannot get. Only from sharing merit they can get, they can join, and then so. But in one case, some case that if they cannot, the Peta is not change other light. If they are related or they are relative bridge for them, some small house like a split house like a Thailand, and they provide them, and then they may stay. They may stay on that tree or on that very small house. Sometimes we plant some tree and just say to such a person, if he is a Peta, he can join like this. In this way, also, they may join, they may get. But to pre-prone the Peta war, only sharing merit can support to pre-prone Peta war.
Ya, Oke, Bante.
Ya, baik. Jadi jawaban dari Bante tadi bahwa untuk mendanakan makanan secara langsung memang itu juga bisa membantu, tetapi tidak bisa dipastikan apakah mereka bisa menerima secara langsung seperti apa adanya makanan yang kita persembahkan di alam manusia, ya Pak Kadek, demikian ya.
Iya, karena seperti yang disampaikan Bante juga dalam pembicaraan kita ya.
Iya.
Biasanya makanan dari makhluk Peta itu adalah makanan yang kotor-kotor ya. Jadi di tempat kotor ya. Bahkan kotoran kita juga terkadang menjadi makanan mereka. Tetapi bagaimanapun juga memang ada kemungkinan makanan yang kita persembahkan kepada mereka berupa makanan biasa yang biasa kita makan, baik itu buah-buahan seperti itu, mungkin mereka bisa menikmati makanan itu ya. Tetapi poin utamanya adalah mereka hanya bisa menikmati makanannya. Untuk bisa terbebas dari alam petanya itu tidak bisa dengan cara melalui makanan yang kita serahkan secara langsung kepada mereka. Untuk bisa terbebas dari alam peta itu hanya melalui limpahan kebajikan saja.
Benar.
Dan biasanya juga yang bisa mereka nikmati itu makanan ya. Tetapi tidak misalnya ketika kita mempersembahkan pakaian begitu, mereka tidak bisa menikmatinya langsung ya. Nah, tetapi ada satu kasus tadi disampaikan Bante yang menarik, misalnya di Thailand ya.
Benar,
di Thailand itu ada budaya di mana orang-orang mendirikan atau membangun rumah-rumah hantu ya.
Iya, rumah terpisah.
Rumah hantu yang terpisah gitu ya. Mungkin dibuat di pepohonan ataupun di tempat yang terpisah dari rumahnya, dan itu dipersembahkan untuk kerabat mereka yang telah meninggal. Nah, mungkin juga makhluk peta bisa menikmati persembahan dari tempat tinggal yang diberikan oleh kerabatnya. Tetapi sekali lagi poin utamanya adalah mereka hanya bisa menikmatinya saja. Tapi perbuatan-perbuatan seperti itu tidak bisa menolong mereka untuk terbebas dari alam petanya, hanya melalui limpahan kebajikan
jasa
tadi.
Kebajikan.
Gitu. Ya, sangat menarik ya, Pak Ari.
Ada pertanyaan lagi barangkali.
Oke, dipersilakan.
This is from William Bante. We got another questions. Good evening, Bante. I want to ask a questions. What is the Buddhist perspective about when someone is
possessed
or possessed by Peta, Bante? Because I think it's a difference from a general perspective, Bante. How about Buddhist perspective when someone is being possessed by the Peta?
Like Peta control
control
the body of the human.
Mind, body and minds perhaps. Bante, what the Buddhist perspective regarding this case?
Buddhist perspective, I don't have studied carefully about this point. Traditionally, we believe, even the Buddha lifetime, the Peta can control some people. They say what they want to do. They do. They let people know what they want to be. In the Buddha lifetime, you may know one story. Amanera Sanu. He was a good Dhamma speaker. After giving the Dhamma talk, he shared merit. He just mentioned my relative in the samsara, my father, mother, my relative may enjoy this merit, and so on. So one of the Peta, Sanu, the former mother, enjoyed this merit. He got more power. He got wherever he go, everybody is appreciating him because her son is a Samanera. That's why she got the benefit from her son. One day, the Samanera Sanu want to disrobe. He want to give her the mahou. So he just thinking and planning to disrobe. Knowing the situation, the Peta, like I said, the old former mother, she cannot control her son, Samanera. And she control another lady. And she said not to disrobe, Samanera son not to disrobe. In this story, according to Buddhist perspective view, the Peta or other Deva, like a Deva Asura, Peta Asura, can control human body and use human body as their one. In this case, that human, the lady or the gentleman, his karma is still weak. His karma is at some time getting weak. Now the Peta can control easily. The person who has the power or strong good karma, the Peta cannot control easily. That is a perspective, my view too.
Baik Bante. Jadi begini, jawaban dari Bante mengenai apakah makhluk peta itu bisa mempengaruhi orang ya, untuk dalam konteks ini kerasukan ya tadi ya Pak Kadek.
Ya, kerasukan.
Sebetulnya makhluk peta ketika mempengaruhi orang yang masih hidup atau sebagian besar dari kita, itu umumnya mereka ingin memberitahukan bahwa mereka akan melakukan sesuatu seperti itu. Ya Pak Kadek ya. Ada juga cerita mengenai Samanera Sanu ya
Samanera
tadi.
Sanu.
Samanera Sanu ya. Nah, Samanera Sanu ini setelah ditabis menjadi seorang Samanera, dia menjadi seorang pembabar dhamma yang cakep ya, yang pandai ya. Dan mengetahui hal itu, ibunya yang terlahir di alam peta itu sangat berbahagia, dapat juga menikmati pujian dari teman-temannya yang lain itu. Tetapi suatu ketika Samanera Sanu ini kemudian ingin lepas jubah ya, ibunya yang terlahir di alam peta juga mengetahui. Namun Peta, ibunya itu tadi tidak bisa secara langsung memengaruhi Samanera tersebut, sehingga memengaruhi kerabatnya yang lain dan memberitahukan bahwa supaya Samanera tidak lepas jubah. Itu ya tadi ya Pak Kadek.
Iya, jadi memang kepercayaan secara tradisional itu diyakini juga dipercayai bahwa makhluk-makhluk peta atau makhluk-makhluk halus itu bisa juga merasuki atau mempengaruhi pikiran dari manusia ya. Dan dari contohnya Samanera Sanu tadi itu juga kondisinya adalah makhluk peta atau makhluk halus itu bisa merasuki mereka yang kondisi batin baiknya itu lemah, tidak kuat ya. Tapi mereka yang kondisi batin kusalanya atau batin baiknya itu kuat, cenderung makhluk halus atau makhluk peta itu tidak bisa merasuki tubuhnya ya, atau mempengaruhi pikirannya. Tapi mereka yang memiliki misalnya kusala atau kebajikannya yang tidak kuat, lemah, maka makhluk peta atau makhluk halus bisa mempengaruhinya. Begitu Pak Arya.
Iya. Demikian itu tadi jawaban dari Bante.
Okay. Next question, Bante. From Agustin. Good evening, Bante. Can we accompanied by our relative? So, like maybe around us, accompanied by our relative or our departed family or departed ones. Why only? For example, can everybody be accompanied by their departed relative, or only certain person? Is it for everyone? Or only for
Only
like for
specific
example,
person, yeah.
someone who is something, they can be accompanied by their departed relative. Other person, they cannot be accompanied by departed relative, like that. Maybe present around us,
Yeah.
As around us, if our house, if we allow, maybe they can stay with us. If we don't allow, they cannot stay. If there is a guardian deity, if we request the guardian deity, okay, let our relative stay together. They may accompany by us, but it is also depend on his karma too. His karma is weak and not strong enough to accompany with a human being. Maybe he cannot. It's depend on their own karma too. The Peta, there is a guardian deity. The guardian deity role also important. The guardian deity had to guard our house from attacking the spirit, from attacking other deva, other Peta. So if he or she doesn't allow, she cannot stay together. Maybe around us, he may stay. It's a part of situation. We cannot say exactly.
Ya, jadi Bante tadi menjelaskan itu bergantung pada kondisinya
ya.
ya. Jadi kalau memang kita mengizinkan leluhur kita yang mungkin sudah meninggal, terlahir di alam peta mungkin untuk masuk ke rumah kita, maka mereka bisa masuk. Tetapi kalau kita tidak mengizinkan juga mereka tidak bisa masuk. Dan terkadang juga hubungannya dengan adanya dewa penjaga rumah ya.
Benar ya.
Kalau dewa penjaga rumah kita mengizinkan makhluk peta itu masuk, mereka bisa masuk. Tetapi kalau tidak diizinkan juga tidak bisa masuk. Nah, kondisi lain juga misalnya tergantung juga dari perbuatan atau karma lampau dari makhluk peta, dari leluhur kita. Jika kekuatan kebajikan mereka cukup kuat yang dilakukan di kehidupannya yang lampau, mereka bisa hadir di sekitar kita, mungkin mendampingi kita gitu ya. Tapi jika kebajikannya mungkin tidak terlalu kuat, mereka juga tidak bisa berada di dekat kita. Jadi semuanya itu tergantung dari kondisi maupun karma masing-masing dari leluhur kita yang sudah meninggal.
Ya. Gitu. Jadi itu jawaban dari Bante Wisuddha atas pertanyaannya.
Ya.
Yeah. Bante, we got one last question from Arya Vlog. Is it possible for Peta to hurt human being, to harm human beings? Is it possible, Bante?
Possible. That human being karma is still weak. Some Peta keeping waiting the chance to hurt their enemy or their enemy in the past. The human being, sometimes their karma, good karma is weak, sometimes good karma is strong, bad karma is weak. That's why it's possible, and then it's possible.
Ya. Baik, jadi jawaban dari Bante itu mungkin saja terjadi. Jadi bisa saja makhluk peta itu melukai manusia. Itu juga tergantung dari kondisi kamanya ya Pak Kadek. Itu tadi jawabannya.
Ya, tergantung juga kondisi karma lampau. Ya, sekali lagi kalau memang mungkin terkadang juga makhluk peta itu juga mengingat musuh-musuhnya di kehidupannya sebagai manusia ya. Nah, mungkin juga dengan ketika kekuatan kamanya itu mengkondisikan, dia mungkin bisa juga menyakiti ataupun membahayakan manusia. Sekali lagi itu semua memang bergantung dari kama masing-masing, baik makhluk petanya ataupun manusianya, gitu ya Pak Arya.
Ya.
Oke. Ya, oke. Jadi Bante, that was the last question that came through our YouTube channel. Baik, sahabat kepo, itu tadi adalah pertanyaan yang terakhir, dan Bante, please allow us, we would like to announce our next program, next week program. Ya, sahabat kepo, tentunya walaupun ini adalah seri terakhir dari Menguak Misteri Alam Semesta, kami masih akan hadir dengan topik yang tidak kalah menarik mulai minggu depan. Kita ada di series kedua, yaitu mengenai series dari kondisi mental. Nah, ini jangan sampai terlewatkan. Kita akan mulai dari minggu depan, Rabu di tanggal 29 September. Itu tamu kita adalah Ibu Christine Liu, ya, CCH. Beliau salah satu juga siswa dari Pak Adiwe Gunawan, ya. Dan dengan topik sembuh dari bullying, ya, di mana nanti minggu berikutnya akan dilanjutkan oleh Biku Atadiro Thera dengan topik anger management. Lalu di tanggal 13 September kita akan kedatangan tamu juga dari Dr. Yudi Gejali. Itu akan membahas mengenai panic attack. Dan di sesi terakhir dari kondisi mental itu kita akan kehadiran dari Pak Hendrik Tanuwijaya dengan topik deal with fear and anxiety. Nah, ini keempat topik sangat menarik. Silakan Pak.
Untuk tamu kita nanti Ibu Christine Liu itu akan ditemani oleh dua host kita, yakni Ibu Wina Damayanti dan Ibu Rista Mimin Nurhayati. Jangan dilewatkan, catat tanggalnya supaya Anda dapat menyimak dengan seksama.
Ya, Baik, terima kasih kami sampaikan kepada sahabat kepo semua yang sudah setia hadir di live YouTube kami mulai dari awal acara sampai terakhir ya. Tentunya ini menjadi pengalaman yang baru untuk kita ya Pak Ari ya, bagi kita menghadirkan tamu asing dari luar negeri, dan sahabat kepo semua bisa memberikan komentar nantinya bagaimana tanggapan mengenai acara kita dengan mendatangkan tamu dari luar negeri juga, dan tentunya kami akan terus meningkatkan kualitas dari apa yang akan kita sampaikan kepada sahabat kepo semua. Gitu. Oke, Bante, that means the conclusion of our event for tonight. One more time, we would like to express our gratitude. Thank you, Bante, for your time that you come to our podcast. Then maybe we can meet again next time, Bante.
Yeah, maybe in another time we will invite you back to our program, Bante. Thank you very much.
Okay, including you, all the watcher, our viewer, I will pleasant recite some passage as a conclusion.
Oke, ya jadi Bante akan memberikan pemberkahannya untuk kita semua ya. Semoga kita semua berbahagia.
Sabitiyo vivasantu sogo rogo vinasadu made bhavantundaraya sukhitika yugo bhava abhivarana silesa nesa uddha vasayino sattaro dhamma vadantu ayu uno sukham balam.
Sadu, sadu, sadu. Terima kasih Bante. Baik, demikian Kertarajasa Podcast kita pada kesempatan kali ini, dan sampai jumpa di kesempatan berikutnya. Terima kasih, selamat malam, Namo Buddhaya.